If you're a commissioned salon or spa owner working nonstop, barely paying yourself, and wondering how in the heck this became your life, you need a serious upgrade. Welcome to the station. Hey, welcome back to the station, the podcast for salon and spa owners who are done feeling like they're carrying the whole thing alone and ready to build businesses that actually work with them, not against them. I'm Bree, founder of the Beauty Biz Agency, and as always, I've got my ride or die co-host and co-founder Chandra here with me today. Hey, girl.
Hello.
I hope you are ready to get into this one today because it is gonna be a doozy. It's gonna upset some people, and it's gonna have others cheering in agreement. You ready for it?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, so here's where we're going today. If you've looked around lately and thought, this does not feel like the industry that I used to love, you are not imagining it. You're not. The loyalty, it's not what it used to be. The trust, the training, the standards, watered down completely. And it didn't just happen by accident. Parts of our industry completely sold us out piece by piece. So today we are going to talk about how the shift to booth rental kind of changed everything, how professional-only brands stopped protecting us professionals, and how social media turned noise into standard. And most importantly, we're going to talk about what we do about it now, like what we can actually do. Because I know there are a ton of owners out there thinking, I absolutely love this industry, but I hate what it's becoming. Chandra, do you feel that way sometimes?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I
think we all do. And I think it's really, really sad. I'm really, really excited for this episode. But before we dive deeper, I want to tell everybody about one of our favorite moments inside of BBA this past year. We had an owner come to us, exhausted, burnout, like the majority of us, stuck behind the chair 6 days a week, team doing whatever they wanted because honestly, she was just too hired to hold them accountable to anything. Her words were, I feel like my team loves me, but they don't respect the business. And Chandra and I, we knew exactly what she meant because we've been there too. We didn't just tweak her prices. We didn't just give her a better booking script. We ripped it down to the studs. We built real systems, clear career paths, daily standards, and a leadership structure that made her feel like the owner again, not just the cleanup crew. Guys, I know a lot of you feel that way, like the cleanup crew in your own business. Fast forward, she's working 3 days a week in her studio by choice. Her team, they have career growth plans that are amazing. They are hitting goals without her having to drag them to them. And for the first time in years, she told us, I don't feel like the only adult in the room anymore. That is what real structure does. And that's why today's topic really, really matters. Because the freedom everyone's out there chasing and doing, it's not real freedom if chaos is behind the scenes all the time. Chandra, you have been right by my side watching all of these people flip that switch, right? From overworked stylists to actual CEOs. What do you think was maybe the one shift that made her team finally start respecting the structure instead of fighting it?
I mean, I think that shift is when they really start to own their own business and start to actually lead it from a place where they have a vision and they have a place they're leading them to. And I think that is easy for us to, when we hit that burnout mode, to lose. And I think really once you kind of get that momentum again, you kind of know where you're going, and then you can start leading in that way. It makes the big difference for everything in the business.
100% spot on. Okay, let's get into the heart of today's episode. And the first thing on my mind is, of course, booth rental. This is really the conversation that nobody wants to have on record, right? Because no one ever wants to sound like the bad guy. But I'm not everyone, and I'm totally okay saying what I know thousands of salon and spa owners are thinking. Booth rental didn't just change where the money goes. It stripped out the backbone of what made salons and spas professional. My opinion, just the way it is. It really took away the daily standard. It took away that built-in education. It took away the culture where new stylists could learn more in a week standing behind a seasoned pro than they ever could from a 5-minute YouTube clip, which they think teaches them everything. And it didn't stop there. It took away the push to be better just by showing up for work every day alongside people who actually held you to something higher. It took away the accountability, the mentor checking your guest experience, your timing, your numbers. It chipped away at the community, the teamwork that made a salon feel like something bigger than just a room with chairs. And listen, guys, we get it. For a lot of seasoned stylists, booth rental can feel like freedom. If you have spent years under maybe a bad owner, stuck under micromanagement, capped at 40% commission with no career path, of course you are going to crave freedom. That part, it makes total sense. But here's the truth that nobody ever names loud enough. That freedom, it came at a cost. And it's not just an internal salon problem anymore. It's an industry standard problem. It really is. Because here's what's real. Some of us are out here dropping tens of thousands of dollars, sometimes hundreds of thousands, on advanced training, certifications, sanitation, insurance, legal compliance, doing it by the book to protect our teams, our guests, and our licenses. Meanwhile, right next door, someone's learning from a trending reel, calling themselves a specialist because they watched a 10-minute highlight tutorial online. Zero certification, zero continuing education, zero real accountability. And the stylists that are renting the chair next to them, they just think that's normal because no one is there to show them different. No one's there to show them different. Chandra, this happens constantly. How frustrating is it for you, someone who has been in the industry for decades?
Oh, I mean, I find it very frustrating. I agree with you like 1,000,000% on all of that. Like it has definitely shifted and changed the professionalism of the industry and the way I feel like stylists are treated, or any service provider, or looked at sometimes by clients. And I think that it makes it really hard for us sometimes to hold those standards because of the shiny thing they see on social media that other people are doing, even though that's not reality most of the time. That's just what the perception that they're getting. And it's extremely frustrating as a commission owner to always be battling that.
It is. It's very, very frustrating. And so what do we get? We end up getting these young stylists trying to piece it all together alone, right? No mentor, no standards, no real blueprint for how to protect this craft that we fought so freaking hard to build. We get guests who don't really know the difference. So they maybe trust the wrong person because it's cheaper or maybe it's trending. We get owners left cleaning up the mess when a boss babe, that's what I'm going to call them, next door blows up a client's hair and the bad review sticks to the entire profession. Here's what scares me the most. If we don't wake up, our state licensing boards, people like that, our industry experts, our so-called leaders, it's only going to get worse. It's going to keep getting worse. Freedom without standards is not freedom. It's really just a race to the bottom. Sorry, Chandra, I went off on a rant there. Sorry. This whole topic, it just breaks my heart and it gets me heated all at the same time. Okay, my question for you, Chandra, is if you could sit every maybe licensing department down and maybe every big expert right down for 5 minutes, what is the one brutal truth that you would make them see about what booth rental really did to the standards in our industry?
I think the biggest truth to all of that is it is destroying the industry. It is lowering the expertise of the service provider. It's making them not an expert anymore because then anybody thinks they can be an expert and anybody thinks they can just do whatever they want. And it is causing damage to clients. It is causing, damage to the industry as a whole and to the people who do it right. And so I think that's the biggest thing is that it is slowly, imploding what we do, in our professionalism and who we are as stylists. I think it's ruining all of that.
Yeah, I think it is too. And I think that, the licensing departments in every state, the experts in this field. They really need to listen to people. I am not saying that booth rental needs to be outlawed in every state. I'm not saying that by any means. However, I do think that people coming out of cosmetology school should be required to work somewhere in a commissioned salon of some sort to learn things, in the beginning for the first few years. I am blown away the things that happen in some of these booth rental situations or salon suite situations. Okay, let's move to the next piece that no one wants to really say on the main stage. The big professional-only brands stopped protecting the professionals who actually built them. We built their empires. Think about it. Back bar by back bar, bottle by bottle. We did that. We trained our guests on why it mattered to trust the pro line, not that drugstore knockoff. And now you can find half of these lines at Ulta, Amazon, Walmart, TikTok Shop with a promo code and free shipping. That is a slap in the face. The guests think that we are trying to upsell when we recommend retail. And that's not what we're doing. We are trying to serve our clients. And that's not on the guest. To me, that's on the brands that trained them to think that way. We used to sell retail with confidence because it was our margin, right? It paid our overhead. It padded paychecks. It made sense. We're the experts. We know the formulas. We know how to prescribe, not just push a product. But now they are completely cutting us out of the conversation while dropping these PR boxes to influencers who've never stood behind the chair before and calling that supporting the professional. That is not support. It's literally selling us out. Chandra, you and I have talked about this a lot lately. We also have owners that came to us wanting to know what salon exclusive brands still exist. And the sad thing is, there aren't many. And the ones that exist now, they will probably sell us out in the near future like all of the other ones did. Why do you think this has affected our industry in such a negative way? And is there even a possibility to fix it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it kind of goes back to where it does take away that expertise of the stylist. It takes away our recommendations. It takes away the reason that we use a specific product or a specific brand. And it starts to diminish that heart of what we do and what's so important about what we do. I mean, when we're recommending somebody a regimen to do at home, there's a reason. It's not always just to sell them product. It's because we want their hair to be a certain way, or we want it to prep it a certain way for our next service. It's not just because it says it's moisturizing or repairing, so they think they can just get on Amazon and buy anything else that says that. There's reasons for those things. And then when they put those things online themselves, the brands, it starts to make it so it's impossible for us to compete. Like, we can't really compete when they're marking things down and they're giving away free product when you purchase from them, or doing, other things that are driving the consumers away from the salons. And so I think that's definitely hurting us. And I do think it could be repaired, but I don't think it would be easy. And I don't know that most of those companies would care enough to repair that and pull those things back. I think COVID had a lot to do with it. I think when salons closed down, a lot of those big brands started really pushing consumer sales instead of going through the salons. And I think they realized, a lot of them, how much money they can make by doing that. So they probably won't ever go back or have that care again. But they need to support our industry. They need to support the stylists. I even see big brand hair color lines now selling box dye at the store. I'm like, how can we stand behind what we do as professionals if somebody can just go out there and think that they can get on YouTube and get a tutorial on exactly how to do their hair with a brand that's being used in the salon? I mean, it's crushing the industry for sure.
It really is. It's so bad between, the booth rental, the suite rental, the professional lines, that you and I both have very successful salons, and I begged my child not to get in this industry. Literally begged her not to. And how sad is that? Like, I wanted to build a legacy, right? And I worked really hard to be able to do that. And now my mindset is shifting, and I don't even want her to be a part of it, because I can't even imagine what's going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years. That's really, really heartbreaking. All right. Then next is the monster that we all helped create, and that's social media, right? It was supposed to help us market, but now we've got people out there mixing bleach and doing hair color next to their air fryer in their kitchen and going viral for it. We've got stylists learning how to run a salon and run payroll from a trending TikTok that could probably get them sued in 3 different states. We've got coaches who have never run a real salon telling thousands of people how to manifest 6 figures, and they give advice that is horrible half the time because they don't understand this industry. Meanwhile, we've got salon owners who are in the trenches, barely hanging on and just trying to figure things out, how to keep their doors open, how to keep their head above water and not have to be the top provider in a business that they own. Yet they're getting bad advice everywhere. And the guests are watching too. They don't know who's licensed, who's safe, who's professional, who's just good at making content. So now when you try to teach a client about something like aftercare or why professional retail matters, they're going to start side-eyeing you because TikTok taught them to trust a link more than the licensed professional. Chandra, what is one piece of viral advice you wish you could just completely wipe off the internet forever because it's doing real damage to real owners every single day?
I don't know if it specifically would be one piece, but it would all fall under the same category. And I think one of the biggest things that's frustrating for us is people out there giving tutorials on how to do these things on yourself at home. We have clients coming in sometimes that are questioning the method that we're using. Like, well, I saw on Instagram that you should be doing a balayage like this. And it's like, no, why would anybody do that? And they have too much knowledge of inner workings, but it's not necessarily the right knowledge. So they think they're experts now. And so I think that stuff should just go away. Why are we teaching people how to do these things? And why, are we making it sound like, you're getting ripped off at the salon? Like, I think that's some of the things and it all kind of falls under the same category of, I don't know. And it's hairstylists or people in the industry that are on these social media channels that are giving this advice and showing people how to do these things. And I mean, they're not being held accountable, and so it's like they come into the salon and they come in with a botched haircut because they thought they could give themselves long layers from a ponytail. Why would you even think that's okay? Like, there's a reason your hairstylist is educated. There's a reason they know how to do what they do. YouTube is not going to take away that, but it is causing this mindset, I think, in the public and in the clients that are coming in.
Well, and I think a lot of people don't realize that, right? The influencers, the hairstylists that have got a big following and they're making money off of social media and things like that, they don't realize that they are doing a huge disservice to this industry. People already don't see our industry as professional to an extent. We do chemistry, we do a lot. It is a real industry. We are professionals, but you wouldn't just see a doctor online showing someone how to stitch up a knife wound, right? When they were trying to cook and cut their finger off. That wouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen in our industry ever. What do you think we could do with that? Or how should we be able to replace that? What can owners do to help make a change in that area?
I just really try to drive that point home, that we are the experts, that we are professional. Like, we try to create content that speaks opposite. And we try to educate our stylists on handling those conversations with clients when they come in and really bringing that back. Like, when I started in the industry, it was more respected. It was more professional. And like you said, I think a lot of those things that you've been talking about have been diminishing that over time. And I think the people that are doing those things don't even realize it yet. And it will hit eventually a point where we're going to really have to dig out of that mess, and it may not be possible. And so I think really, trying to mitigate it and just try to drive home, like, we still stand professional. We still do the things in a professional way and fix the problems that these people are creating on their own. And then they start to see that, okay, maybe I shouldn't have gone on TikTok to learn how to cut my own hair or do my own color. So, and it's crazy.
I think we're just going to all have to come together and work to recreate this professional space that we deserve to have, you know? Here's the truth. Yeah, booth rental, it cracked our teams. Big brands, they cashed out our loyalty for shelf space. Social media, they handed the mic to people who've never built a successful salon and some who aren't even licensed. But you know what they didn't count on? They didn't count on you waking up or me waking up. They didn't count on owners saying, this isn't happening on my watch anymore. They didn't count on us standing up salon by salon saying, we're not giving this industry away. We are going to rebuild it standard by standard, system by system, leader by leader. So if you are like me and like Chandra and you are fired up right now, good. Keep that fire, because talking about it is never going to be enough. We aren't going to be able to change this industry from sitting in the break room and talking about it. We're going to have to change it piece by piece. And that's what I want to talk about next. How you protect your piece of this industry and build it so solid that nobody can water it down again. So because we're sitting here mad at big brands or our industry, I want to ask you, Chandra, really, really quickly, what is one thing that you would do? Because I feel like I asked this earlier, but we didn't really get to it. What is one thing you would do if you could sit down from your state licensing department right now and tell them you had a 30-minute meeting? What would you say?
I mean, I think I would just tell them, like, this is like, kind of like I said, like, it's ruining the industry. You can't do this. Like, we have to fix this. And these are the things that are happening, and really kind of break it down for them and explain, like, why this is ruining the industry. Maybe show them things that have happened because of the stuff that's been going on and what's, hurting people out there. Even social media on like Facebook and stuff. I'm in a lot of groups that clients complain about stylists. They're like, all these different things, and they're saying things like, it's not worth going to a salon anymore because you don't get the service that you wanted. You don't get the things that you wanted because people are out there doing them without the proper knowledge and the proper, stuff to do it correctly. And so I think it's destroying the industry. They have to look at that. They have to stop. I don't think booth rental has to go away, like you said, by any means. I wouldn't, trump that. But I do think that there needs to be guidelines and standards, like there should be, across the board.
100%. And getting to what you said, on the opposite side, there are stylists on social media bashing clients as well. It just blows my mind. Like, I almost don't even follow any hairstylist anymore because it's always something. You know what I mean? Okay. So what do we do with all of this? Because like I said, sitting here being mad at big brands or our industry, it's not going to fix your business tomorrow. But here's what can. First, we need to build a space that actually runs. If you are going to protect your team and your guests from the mess that is out there, your four walls need to be airtight. That means you need real systems, clear policies, a guest journey that you can repeat, train, and protect. Standards for performance, not just vibes, not just feeling, but standards. A structure that runs even if you, the owner, step away for a few days. Because if you are still the one holding it all together, you're not the owner. You are literally the insurance policy. And the second you step away, there is no telling what's going to happen. Next, you need to create career paths that keep good people in your business. Booth rental kind of snatched the ladder away. So build a new one. Give people a reason to stay and grow. Show them how they can come in as an assistant, right? Grow to a level stylist, become a lead, maybe even an educator, manager, salon coordinator. Map it out. Put it on paper. Talk about it constantly. If they can't see growth with you, they are going to look for it somewhere else, or worse, they will drift and stall. Next, lead like an owner, not a freaking stylist. I love the craft. You love the craft. But this industry, it will not survive on good haircuts, good balayages, good service. It needs real owners. Get out from behind the chair long enough to at least coach your team, run your numbers, update your systems, protect your culture. If you are booked solid every day, you can't see where your business is leaking. You just can't. And you definitely don't have time to plug those holes. Fourth, get involved outside of your walls. this piece right here, this is what nobody seems to do. But it is the only way that the standard is going to come back. Go to your state board meetings. I have been doing this for the last 2 years. Learn what's happening in licensing. Write letters. Call your reps. If you see someone cutting corners illegally, speak up. Protect the license that you worked so hard for and that you paid for. Be the voice. Be the voice that says, this isn't just hair. It is a freaking profession and it deserves real guardrails. Fifth, talk to the next generation like they're worth saving. Stop grumbling about these kids don't care and show them why they should. Mentor, train, call out all of the TikTok myths that you see. Invite them into the real work. They are watching you. They'll either copy your structure or they'll copy your silence. Chandra, for the owner who is ready to get off the hamster wheel and actually lead like this, do these things, what is one small thing that they can do this week to start stepping out from behind the chair and into that CEO seat for real so that they can make an impact on their business, their life, their employees, and this industry?
I mean, I think just start leading your team somewhere. Like get out from the grind and start taking your team somewhere better, somewhere they can go, that they can grow, like you said, like creating those career paths. Like start leading instead of just kind of cranking behind the chair and hoping everything's going to work out, because it's going to just slowly continue to implode or go in the wrong direction. So I think you have to start looking at yourself in that light and be the leader.
Yep, I agree with that 100%. It is such a misconception in this industry, and I know that we talk about it constantly, but I think we do that because we are so passionate about it. We have seen how our lives have changed, how the lives of our employees have changed, how our businesses have changed for the better because we were able to step out of that service provision role and into that CEO role. All right, before we wrap this up, I want to hit a question that we get quite frequently, and it actually kind of lands really hard with everything that we just talked about. The question is, what do I do if I am trying to lead like this, but I feel like my team just doesn't care? I'm holding the line, but I am tired of feeling like I am the only one that does. This one hits because so many people feel this way. Leadership is heavy. It is hard. And when you're the only one maybe upholding the standard while everyone else just wants the paycheck and the perks, it can make you question if it's even worth it. I have felt that way many times. Here's the thing. You cannot force people to value what they don't understand. Your job is to show them why and how your standard protects them, why your system protects their income, their reputation, their future in this industry, not just yours. People are never going to buy into rules. They buy into the why. So talk about it. Show them how your boundaries actually keep the doors open and the lights on. Show them how your retail isn't just extra money for the owner. It's profit that covers overhead so you can pay your team well. And then if they still don't get it, they're probably telling you who they are. And that is your permission to lead stronger, even if that means leading some people right out your door. Chandra, for the owner sitting here thinking, I feel so alone in this, what is a reminder that you would give them about the kind of team that they deserve to build?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to feel alone. If you have a clear vision and picture of where you're going and you convey that to your team and you lead them towards that, you'll find the right team. Like you will find the people that will want to align with what you're doing and where you're going. But that has to be solid and that has to be in place first. And you have to be working towards in that direction yourself, I think, in order to get those people aligned. Otherwise, you will struggle and constantly be trying to push them up the hill. And so I think that really is kind of the biggest thing that I would look at is where are you leading them? Where are they going?
Yeah, I agree with that. And one of the things that we find, I am always honest, one of the things that we find as we are coaching and bringing salon owners into our program is they think that they have a clear vision, right? But they usually don't. When we break it down, sometimes they don't even know what their vision is anymore. And so everything that they've given to their employees or their team has gotten really misconstrued because it's been 850 different things on any given week. And so, like Chandra said, that's going to be very, very important. Chandra, we see that all the time, right?
Oh, yeah, all the time. I've done that a few times for sure.
I think we all have, right? We have so many things going on in our lives. And we talk about this all the time too. You have to evolve. If you're not evolving, something is wrong. And so if you're still looking at your vision from 10 years ago, then that's not probably what your vision still is today. You really need to sit down and figure that out. Okay. Let's just say it plainly. This industry, it did not break overnight. It cracked because we all stopped doing our part. We pulled back. We stayed quiet. We let bad advice get louder than real experience. We let people skip the work that we did to get here and told ourselves, it's just the way it is now. But it isn't, and it doesn't have to be that way. We have to start doing our part again. We have to start speaking up. We have to get involved with our states, our licensing boards, the people who actually shape what gets taught, what gets enforced, and what keeps our licenses worth something, what makes them worth something. We have to remind the next generation that education matters more than aesthetics on Instagram. We have to bring back what made this work feel like something bigger than just a chair. Team, mentorship, real collaboration, not just this cute word for a hallway of people who don't even talk to each other. But none of that is going to happen if we stay quiet and if we stay too polite, to be honest. We are going to have to say the uncomfortable stuff. We're going to have to lead, even when it's awkward, even when we don't want to, even when it's not popular, right? Even when people don't clap for it on TikTok, we still have to speak the truth. If you are listening to this right now and you're thinking, I am ready to get my business in order and to step into that CEO role and be a leader in this industry, but I have no idea where to start, that is exactly what we're here for. At the Beauty Biz Agency, we are coaching owners who are ready to run real businesses with real leadership so that they can build the team of their dreams, protect their profit, and actually enjoy this industry for the long haul. So head over to www.thebeautybizagency.com, grab some of our free tools, join our coaching program, and get in the rooms where we are having these tough but very, very real conversations that bring this industry back to life. Chandra, how do our people connect with us and keep up with everything going on at the Beauty Biz Agency?
Yeah, follow us on social media on Instagram or Facebook at the Beauty Biz Agency. You can also follow us on TikTok at the Beauty Biz Mentors. And to check us out live on Facebook the first Monday of every month at 7 p.m. Central Time. We'd love to see you there. And if you have any questions you'd like answered on the air, send us a message and we'd love to do that for you.
I love it. And guys, if this episode got you fired up, if it got you nodding the entire time, please share it. Leave us a review and subscribe so that you never miss another episode. Chandra, before we clock out for the day, do you have any last words of wisdom for the salon and spa owners out there?
No, I mean, I think the industry is changing. And I think in order for us to really bring it back where it needs to be, we all can work together. And I think reaching out to us or, finding some ways that you can start, being part of that change would be really, really important. So let's change it to make it professional and make us really relevant again. And yeah, that's my final words of wisdom.
I love it. It's very, very important. And it's so true. All right, guys, you've been listening to The Station. Until next time, protect your standard, stand up for what you built, and stop carrying what your systems and your people should be able to hold without you. Now go out there, make bank, run the show, and ditch that chair. And as always, keep slaying those business goals with a whole lot of swagger.